Ladies and gentlemen, I want to read you a couple of articles, and I want people to be open-minded, and I want people to focus on victory. Not ideology, but actually winning, victory, and we know that Trump defeated Clinton. I said Clinton would lose to Trump in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, other publications. I was actually on CNN and MSNBC explaining that Clinton was not the best candidate and she would lose to Trump. This was 6 years ago. Okay? I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, well, let me read this. Fox News, DeSantis beats Trump in 2024 straw poll for a second time at Colorado Conservative Summit. Okay. This is the second time. Tulsi Gabbard spoke at the summit. Awesome. And Newsweek, Trump loses to DeSantis in 2024 straw poll again. So, let's just discuss a couple of things. If you want to win, Trump can do it. He's done it before. However, okay, nobody respects or admires what Donald Trump has done in the short time dealing with everything that he's had to deal with more than me. He had to deal with a very corrupt criminal plot to go after him. The Durham Probe Special Counsel's finding this out. The not getting the conviction is not even relevant. The testimony itself, we knew that the Sussman did not get acquitted because nobody believed James Baker, the top attorney at the Bureau. Nobody believed him. Okay, James Comey's top attorney, the jury did not believe because they couldn't believe that the entire agency wasn't in on it along with the Clinton campaign. There was never a reason to investigate Trump. There was not a shred of evidence. Not a shred of evidence. And if you say, well, Clapper and Brennan had the ODNI and DHS reports and they really felt with high to moderate confidence assessments that he could have been installed by the Kremlin, well, you can do that with any incoming candidate or president, and any outgoing administration could do the same thing. Okay, the Bush administration could have said, President Obama wanted a reset, and our intel officials say that that's suspicious, so we have to investigate. Then you had media lying daily, in a routine manner. Current, former U.S. officials say, anonymously sourced quotes, he cleared Lafayette Square. No, he did not. Don Trump Jr. Was notified about emails. No, that was not true. He passed classified data to people. No, that didn't happen. That was a New York Times article citing an anonymous source. So these things like the media, intel agencies, all social media algorithms, they protected Hunter's emails. They protected Mashed Potato Brains Joe. They went after Trump every second they could. Okay? Robert De Niro said, oh, well, he insulted Trump, and then, God forbid, you do the same with Mashed Potato Brains, and it's like, oh my God, how dare you? So they never accepted Trump, and then they demand that you fall in line and give them absolute allegiance and obedience and loyalty when it comes to accepting President Mashed Potato Brains. Now, again, nobody respects Donald Trump and what he's accomplished. Abraham Accords, Doha Agreement, which Biden botched, reversed U.S. foreign policy, opposed the Lincoln Project. He was not only opposed the Lincoln Project, he was the only choice for a less militant president. He was far less militant than Clinton would have been, than President Obama, and of course Bush. He opposed the Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld foreign policy, which is why you vote for Trump or DeSantis. And he allocated more funding to historically black colleges and universities than any president ever, and made the funding permanent. Okay? We had record low black and Latino unemployment. We had the First Step Act. We had hundreds of thousands of new manufacturing jobs. We had economic growth. Inflation was around 2% with Trump. Gas prices were below $3. and now gas prices have doubled. So hit subscribe to this channel. I'm going to give you some great analysis like I usually do. We're almost at 200,000 subs. This is an important segment. I have a very important segment on the stock market crash channel and the Bitcoin crash to 10,000 or lower channel. Now, I have 3 channels. Subscribe to all 3. Watch those segments. If you want to support my work, my Patreon is below. And if you want to give a super thanks, the super thanks is below, and become a member of this channel. Ladies and gentlemen, DeSantis, if you've lasted this long, 5 minutes in, Ron DeSantis, okay, is, if you want to have an easier time with victory, a better candidate, might not be a better president, might not be a more, he perhaps hasn't been as tested as Trump, okay? He opposes the Lincoln Project. He opposes media because media has one objective: to further Democratic Party talking points. That's all. They're activists. They're not even really journalists. Most of media they're composed of journalists who activists who happen to be journalists. So if it's a story against Trump or DeSantis, they will investigate like their life depends on it. If it's a story, whether it's Madam Secretary, Bill Clinton and Loretta Lynch, Attorney General Loretta Lynch meeting with Bill Clinton meeting with the Attorney General as she and Comey are investigating Madam Secretary, nobody wanted to talk about that, okay? And God bless the great Christopher Stein, he broke that story, but nobody talked about that, okay? They would talk about that if it was William Barr and if it was Jeff Sessions or any attorney general meeting with Trump in a clandestine manner. Okay. By the way, I want a Hillary Clinton Donald Trump 2024 or Hillary Clinton DeSantis 2024. I want that. I want a redo of 2016. But if they go with Hillary or if they go with mashed potato brains or they go with anyone, all of media will back the Democrat. Every government official, intelligence agencies, they have too much emotion, too much vested emotion, irrational. They have an irrational contempt for Trump. They have Trump because Democrats, and this is Trump has single-handedly exposed serious character flaws in morally superior Democrats. You have people who disown friends. Think about that for a second. Did you ever think there would be a moment in American politics where a liberal Democrat would disown a friend because of Trump, who was like cameoed on Home Alone and like had The Apprentice, and all these liberal Democrats were watching him for decades? Okay, these are character flaws that are now out in the open. They've failed their test, which is a basic test, like, for character, humanity, integrity. If you disown a friend because of Trump, that means you are so blinded by this notion that your political side is so much morally superior to Trump, you ignore Hunter's emails, you ignore the Lincoln Project, never-ending counterinsurgency wars and conflicts, you ignore all the corruption with the foundation, you ignore the fact that they set up and framed Trump and they had no reason to do so. And that was the antithesis of democracy. You ignore, my God, we can go on forever with the most despicable things that we can't even talk about because of YouTube policies and guidelines on the left. So Hunter's emails and photos being just some of them. Everybody who's accused mashed potato brains. Joe. So, we can go on forever, but you have to understand, if you are a morally superior liberal Democrat and you see Trump, it's this Pavlovian response. It's this apoplectic, hysterical, irrational response. You'll get up and vote. DeSantis doesn't have that. Plus, he's better with media than Trump is. And media, like Trump gets so angry, he gets flustered now. And it's understandable. But with DeSantis, he gives you everything that, he gives you most of what Trump offers, but with a more strategic or subdued personality. Same tough personality, same personality that doesn't care about what media thinks, or, opposes the Lincoln Project, but he's quote unquote more electable. I don't even want to use those terms because I don't like that, because Trump already defeated Clinton. So but will Trump fall? I think that Trump will continue, will become nominee, obviously, because he wants the return, which he should get. But I do think that if he decides to pass the baton to DeSantis, it would probably be the best thing for Trump. It would actually be the best thing for Trump. Okay. And possibly also for the country. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. Again, nobody wants Trump back in the office, in the Oval Office, more than I do. But the Democrats fear DeSantis. They don't fear Trump. Okay? The Democrats fear DeSantis. They don't fear Trump. They despise Trump. There's a difference. They don't fear him anymore. Okay? They don't respect him or fear him as a candidate anymore. And that's not good. That is not good. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. You might not like some of what I'm saying, but it's the truth.